Good morning, Rabbi Sai. And then I was whispering just on time. We're holding smack in the middle of the Amud, Lamed Hamud base. Omer Rav Yehuda Breder Rav Shmuel, that's where we're holding. Omer Rav Yehuda Breder Rav Shmuel, Bar Shilas. Rav Yehuda, the son of Rav Shmuel Bar Shilas, B'shmei the Rav. Send the name of Rav. Kesher tefillin shel tefillin halacha leMoshe Misinai. This knot of the tefillin shorosh, yeah, not yad, shorosh, which looks like a dalid. So together with the shin on the right, and the dalid on the kesher, this is halacha leMoshe Misinai. Put a dalid over here. So halacha leMoshe Misinai, because Baruch Hu said it should put a dalid over here. Mendy, where are your tefillin? You want to pull them out? Omer Rav Nachman, v'noyeyem, the kash time. Doesn't matter, I'll take you a second. V'noyeyem lebar. What does that mean? No, it's a few minutes. V'noyeyem, the nice part of the dalid, facing the outside, not the other way around. This is also part of the halacha leMoshe Misinai, l'chayra. That when the knot is reversed, it's not the halacha l'Moshe Misinai. V'noyeyem, the nice part, lebar, to the outside. Rav Ashi, show me your kesher real quickly. So the typical way to do it is to make a serious dalet. Now you'll take a look in shul. Some people have a square. It's another minig. I never understood it completely, but what I understand a little bit is that here, this is a square. So basically, it's two daleds. One dalet going this way, and then if you reverse it, it's another dalet going this way, I think. That's the way to explain it. Rav Ashi Avi Yosef Kamei de Marzutra. Rav Ashi was sitting in front of the Marzutra. It's a pichale ritzua de tefillin. His ritzua over here flipped inside out, like as so. Omarlei l'savar lamar. Now you have to remember, we had a ma'aseh moed katan, where Rav Chia fasted for 40 days because his ritzua flipped inside out. 40 days, remember that? Because it's halacha l'Moshe Misinai, it's not a joke. So he says, I like this lashon. It's a new way to do it. Because I'm very careful now not to tell people the artists. Even that guy, yeah. Depends to who. my close friends. But I'm not going to go to a guy who's a Talmud. I'm going to hey, by the way, you're tefillin a little to the left, because then it might shock him or whatever. But here's a great way to do it. Did you not paskin that v'noyeyem lebar, that the beautiful part should be on the outside? Omalei, so you didn't say, hey, jump on him and point at him. He said, I thought you hold like that. He says, yeah, Omalei, lavadatay. I simply didn't realize. Says the Gemara, V'ro kolame haaretz kishem Hashem nikra alecha. The nations of the world will see Hashem's name on you, on your head, on the tefillin shorosh. V'yar memeka, and they'll fear you. What do you call him? Rabbi Agadol? And I'm talking about Rabbi Lezer Agadol, it says. Rabbi Eliezer Agadol.
We just said that.
Vasiroisi's kapi v'ro'isas achayro, the famous pasuk that Baruch Hu tells Moshe Rabbeinu, you'll see from behind me. Omer Rav Chana bar Bizna, Omer Rav Shimon Chasidah, v'lamet she'er la'akadosh Baruch Hu l'Moshe kesher shetfil. What did Hashem show him? Achayro. What is achayro? The back. The back means you'll see from Kaviyachol, HaKadosh Baruch Hu wears tefillin, and I'll show you my knot, my kesher tefillin. That's what you're going to see. The Chassam Sofer says over here, the famous Vart, and it's a beautiful Vart, that V'ro'isis achayrai uponai lo yiro. You're not going to see my face. You'll see my back. Omer Rav Chana bar Bizna, Omer Rav Shimon Chasidim, Lamed Sherah L'Kaviyah. Omer Rav Yehuda, kesher shel tefillin tzorch shel malo. Oh, here, come. First of all, a very, very important halacha. Very important halacha. That this part of the tefillin, and you see, if every time you go to Minyan, you'll see one or two people that are not doing it correctly, and then, according to Mishnah Berurah, you're not yoitza. That if this part of the tefillin sticks out past the hairline, and then if a person doesn't have hair where his hair used to be, it's no good. So if it's a little bit like this, no good. Not yoitza, according to Mishnah Berurah. Has to be up here. So it's another thing you should check. Now turn around a second. Is there a problem here with his knot? I mean, everybody look at this beautiful sweatshirt, Schmack, MDY Kids sweatshirt. What's wrong with this knot? The problem is it's too low. Why is it too low? 'Cause everybody take your hand, feel the back of your head. You'll feel where your skull is, and then there's a dip. The knot should not be in that dip. The knot should be above the dip. It has to be touching at least part of it. Okay, now you can go, I think.
You should tell everyone it was perfect until this morning. You changed it just for
You changed it just for this. Yeah, okay. Now, I want everybody going around to everybody in shul. No. But there's a dip. You feel the dip? It should not be in that dip. It could be, half of it could be in the dip, but half should be above the dip. Some of it should be touching. His happens to be completely below the dip. I felt it. I saw it yesterday. I'm like, wait a minute, I'm a Talmud Chacham now. I just learned the sugya. Oh no good. I have the right to go and tell him. My first time, I just learned it. I'm already telling people Musar. So the other thing is, I've never seen this one, but if it's below the hairline on the back, below the hair, then you're not yaitze b'chlal. Then you're not yaitze. But l'chatchila, the kesher should be also straight. Sometimes you see people, the kesher is a little bit to the side. It should be in that groove over there, so that it lines up with your tefillin, which are also supposed to be straight between your eyes, and the kesher should be directly. Sometimes it's a little off. It's easy to fix, actually. So, if your thing is like this, so your kesher is going to be, so you just pull it a little bit. Boom. And then the kesher becomes straight. All right. Omer Rav Yehuda. Kesher tefillin tzarich sheyeh lemala. Lemala, what does lemala mean? Some of you were looking at me and like, wow, that's interesting. Lemala means above that groove. Kadei shiyu Yisrael lemala, that we should be on top, we should be above the Iranians imach shomam, v'loy lemato. V'tzarich sheyeh klape ponim. It should be straight with the face. Interesting way to learn it. Kadei shiyu Yisrael lefanim, v'loy lacha, we should be in the front and not behind. Omer Shmuel bar Beidari Omer Rav. Another halach in the name of Rav. Ramilo, I love this as a Magichir, this Givaldik, one of the best Gemaras. Ramilo Omer Rav Acharicha Omer Rav Huna. Ramilo Omer Rav Menachos Omer Shmuel. Tefillin me'mosim mevarch aleim. So this is a famous sugya. When do we make the bracha on the tefillin shel yad? Says the Gemara Mishas Hanachasan. You put them on your hand, and you pull it tight, and you go like this. Don't take anything yet. Don't get nervous. And then you make the bracha. Ask the Gemara, how could that be? Eini. Oiver lasiyasan is a very tricky word. Words. It means the way Mr. American would understand it is koidem lasiyasan, right before we do it. But the Gemara uses an interesting lashon, oiver lasiyasan, which means the same thing. It means before you do it. Think about it. When do you make a bracha on a lulav? You make the bracha and then you shake. When do you make a bracha on matzah? You make a bracha, then you eat. So we make a bracha on tefillin, and then we tighten it. Mahadik. Another famous one is when we wash our hands. So we wash our hands for our maitzi. You wash your hands. You make a bracha before you dry your hands. You dry your hands afterwards. So it should be over lasiyasan on the drying. So how do you make a bracha after you strap it to your hand? Says Gemara, you're right. You put it on your arm, you do not tighten it, you just leave it there, and you mechaven that you're doing dveikus in HaKadosh Baruch Hu. And then you make the bracha, and then you strap it down. Just to go over, I'm sure everybody knows this because you did it by your bar mitzvah, but you're supposed to be on top of the muscle, the bicep, the kibaris, and slightly towards the heart. Some people put it over here, not so good. Some people over here. On the spitz of the bicep, tiny bit towards the heart. Make sure that when you tighten it, it doesn't go too much to the heart. Maybe you should start when it's straight, and then when you tighten it, it'll probably give a little tug. Also depending on what nusach you tighten, v'chulu v'chulu. Okay. Listen to this. Soch bein tefillah tefillah. So here's the big machlokes. Rabbi says the big machlokes between Ashkenazim and Sfardim, and on the Sephardi side are the Gronics. Do you make two brachas on tefillin or just one bracha on tefillin? I don't know if you know, but Sfardim only make one bracha, lahaniach tefillin. Ashkenazim make two. They make one on tefillin shel yad and then one on tefillin shel rosh. This machlokes is these few lines right over here. Sach ben tefillah tefillah. If a person spoke between the two tefillin, shel yad and rosh, chayzer u'mevarach, he must make the bracha again. So the Gemara asks, Sach in, lo sach lo. Wait a minute, I thought you have to make two brachas anyway. V'sholach Rav Chia, b'reider Ravuna b'shmei Rabbi Yochanan. It says in the name of Al tefillah shel yad oimer bracha sher kedushanim tzeisav tzivanu lehoniach tefillin. I remember my father telling me it's lehoniach tefillin, which Rashi explains. Lehoniach tefillin is the beginning of the mitzvah, and al tefillin shorosh you say oimer bracha sher kedushanim tzeisav tzivanu al mitzvahs tefillin, which is when you finish up the mitzvah, you say al mitzvahs tefillin. Abaye v'Rava. So we have a problem here. He says, if you speak, then you should make two brachas. But it seems like Rabbi Yochanan says you should always make two brachas. Abaye v'Rava d'amri tarvayu. Look at this line and tell me what do you come out with this line over here? And this is it, right over here is the whole machlokes. Loisach mivarchachas. If you're not going to shmooze, you make one bracha, like the Svardim. Sach. If you're a big talker, mivarch shtayim. Only then do you make two brachas. So why in the world do Ashkenazim make two brachas? No, we don't talk. Don't talk. Asks Tosfos a bomb question. You're telling me the only time you make two brachas is if you talk. So Chachamim were miyased a bracha for bums, people that don't keep halacha. When guys are special bracha, different than the other bracha, don't make the first bracha again. Make a new bracha. We're going to create a new bracha for the shmoozers in shul. If you talk during Kaddish, then we have a special Kaddish for you. That doesn't make any sense. Don't talk, and we don't have to make a Kaddish. Therefore, says Tosfos, this whole Gemara is talking about Shorosh. If you put on your Shorosh and you talk, then you have to make another bracha. Two brachas. So you're like the guy going to Australia on vacation, and you pull out your Shorosh, you have to make two brachas. But if you're only putting on one, you're putting on your Shorosh like everything else, and you didn't talk in between, then only make one bracha. And that's why Ashkenazim go like Rabbeinu Tam, that this whole Gemara is talking about Shorosh, and therefore you need to make two brachas. Svardim go with Rashi, that we're talking about general. You only make one bracha. If you happen to shmooze, make two brachas. I never made the second bracha in my entire life. I don't know what it is. So you say, this is super important. Rabbi said, listen to this. Ashkenazim say, Baruch Shem Kavod Machuz L'Olam Va'ed. Now you have to be super careful not to say it before you pull your film down. Not everybody knows. I see people going, Baruch Shem Kavod Machuz, and they pull it down. Because if you say Baruch Shem Kavod Machuz, before you pull it down, you just made a hefsek. You just ruined the whole thing. You're not allowed to talk.
You say it, because it's a suffix.
Suffix on the bracha.
Right.
But don't ruin your hanachas tefillin.
For sure.
Okay? You're for sure. But I'm telling you, there's a lot of people that don't know these things. The little things. They're so used to it. They're doing it before they pull it down. So this is the side. This is why we have a machlokes. You say two brachas. Not. I'm sure there's a lot of people who don't even know that Sfardim don't make two brachas. V'chula v'chula.
Sit down.
And
Sit down.
Yeah.
Sit down.
That we see, but we don't know what they're saying. Yeah. Tana. Sach ben tefillah tefillah. If he spoke between the two tefillin, aveira hi biyadai. This is a big aveira. Oh, it's a good thing you told me because this is big. V'chayzer aleh me'erchei hamilchama or me'orchei hamilchama. What does that mean? It's an aveira to speak between tefillin. Tosfos says that it's mashma over here from Rashi. I'll show you the Tosfos. Aveira biyadai. Metoch pirush hakundrus mashma dimsachu birach shari v'leki yisura ela adirav a mitzvah. If you made a bracha, it's a good thing. Oh, so what we're talking about over here, v'loy birach, that he put on tefillin shel yad, then he spoke, and then he put on tefillin shel rosh, then he gets an aveira. It's such an aveira. It says in the pasuk. V'yasva hashoyter l'daber la'am v'amru mi ha'ish hayorei v'rach halevav. Who's the man who's scared and has a weak heart, soft heart? Yelech v'yoshel lebeisa. He can't go to war. Go home. Tana. Miniach shel yad, v'achkach miniach shel rosh. First comes the tefillin shel yad, and then afterwards the shel rosh. Kshu chayletz. It's the reverse when you take it off. Chayletz shel rosh, v'achkach chayletz shel yad. How do we know this? Bishlam kshu miniach shel yad, v'achkach shel rosh, miniach shel rosh. And afterwards it says first you put it on your hand, and then in the Torah it says you should put it on between your eyes. How do you know you remove the tefillin shel rosh before the yad? Rav Huna explained to me, Now, nobody look inside. Look at me for a second. If you look inside, you can't answer. Where do we see in this pasuk that we're talking about two? Where does it say in the pasuk? Tetafos. I also thought that until I look in Rashi. Rashi says from the word v'hayu. The v'hayu is the lashon rabbim over here. V'hayu tetafos beinenecha kol zman shebeinenecha yushtayim. What does it mean? You should put double, two, between your eyes, but we only put one between our eyes on our head. So what does it mean? You put two, meaning as you have one on your hand already, then you put the second one on your head. But nevertheless, that's why Shamshi thought, hey, it's a mafurish pasuk that you cannot put on shel rosh unless you have shel yad. Nevertheless, that's why it's a chiddush that even if you only have one and shel rosh, they're not connected. It's two separate mitzvahs, and you put on the tefillin shel rosh by itself. Torah Rabbana. Tefillin me'imosem mevarach aleim. When are you allowed to start making the bracha? Mishas anachasam. The zman is whatever the zman is. It means when you're allowed to start putting on tefillin. Obviously, if you daven v'sikin, you daven nates, you're allowed to put on tefillin before. So you don't have to wait until the sun comes out. It's before that. What's the shear? 45 minutes, 50 minutes, whatever it is. There's a certain shear. So case that how you're masking, let's say the derech. A guy is on his way. He got up early in the morning, 2 in the morning. Is he allowed to put on his tefillin? Why? He's scared that they're going to get lost. So you're on the way. You want to put on your tefillin? Menichon, you put on the tefillin. When the time comes, 5:30, when you're allowed to put on your tefillin, you're ready to put on 2 o'clock. You go like this, you move it a little bit, and that renews the hanacha, and you make a bracha. So let me ask you something, just from reading the words. You make the bracha and then you touch it? Or you touch it and then you make the bracha? What's an afkamina? Oiver lasiyasa. You have to make the bracha before you put on tefillin. So if touching it is the putting on, so the Gemara should say, Mivarach aleim umemashmish b'hem. That's not what it says. Memashmish b'hem mivarach aleim. But the answer is, of course, you have to move them. You have to make the bracha first, and then move them because oiver lasiyasa. Look at Taisus. Ukshiyagia, it's on the screen. Ukshiyagia is my mashmish b'hem mivarach. Mikan nirik shalda mashkim kodim hayom misad b'tzis shior hayom. Ein tzarich lasatel. You don't have to take off your talus because they latzul luboy shlusatev levarach. The kivin shemamashmish boy on the talus also. You go like this. You shake it up. Yochel levarach havapi shesh l'chalim in tefillin tzitzis. Even though there's a difference. Listen to this. I just wanted to show you this. Shamishmush mitzvah. And that made me feel good. Anytime you go like this, and you should do it often, every 5 minutes or so, give it a little move, because that's now you're saying I'm not Mesiach Das. I know I have tefillin, and give it a move. It's a mitzvah. Taisa says Shamishmush mitzvah. That's why some people go shartim loisa yadecha. They do a whole thing. Some people, the guy says you're not allowed to because you don't the mil shema. You don't kiss things. You don't touch things. Okay, but that's
machlokes.
Yeah. Right. So we have a big machlokes here. When do you have to remove your tefillin? Rabbi Yaakov Omer achatichla regel min hashuk, until people leave the marketplace. So Taisus says, it seems, I'm not exactly sure what Rashi says, because Rashi says that they hold that Laila lavs man tefillin. Taisus says they hold Laila zman tefillin. It could be that Rashi agrees with Taisus, just it's not appropriate to wear at night. They hold not midaraisa, midarabana maybe, not 100% sure. So we have shkia, we have until you leave the marketplace, and we have chachamim who say until people go to sleep, which is much later. The sun went down. I get until people go to sleep. Nope, you don't put it on now. The halacha is that when people like menorah candles, Chanukah menorah, until people leave the market. They dive in Meir with the tefillin. Rabbi, I'm telling you, if we lived in those generations, we wouldn't know what's flying. Some say the halacha is not like Rabbi Yaakov. That at shetichla regel mashuk. Daf lamed vav and beis. V'ho Rav Chizda v'Rabbi bar Avuna maslu b'burta. What do we do with Rav Chizda and Rabbi? We used to daven Meir with it. Ahu pligo. They argue. In other words, ben hashmoshes, you don't know if it's nighttime or not. It's in between. It's one of these in between. You don't have to remove your tefillin. You don't put them on. But it's mashma avadei chashecha. If you know for a fact that it's nighttime, choylets. How come you tell me you don't have to take them off? Hasam Erev Shabbos itmar. So we're talking about Erev Shabbos. Erev Shabbos is different. Then you have to remove your tefillin. Micah Sovar. That's the Gemara. I don't understand what's going on there. There's a big connection, says the Gemara, between Shabbos and nighttime. That is, if you hold that you could wear tefillin every night, on Tuesday night, on Wednesday night, Shabbos Nami is a man tefillin. They're both connected to each other, as you're going to see. Why? Because you learn from the same exact word that you learned that you're not allowed to wear tefillin at night. You also learn you're not allowed to wear tefillin on Shabbos. So if you hold that you're allowed to wear tefillin at night, that means you're allowed to wear tefillin on Shabbos. And if you hold that Shabbos is not a time to wear tefillin, why? Because I'm going to learn from that word yemima, miyamim. So memela, from that same word, you also learn that you're not allowed to wear tefillin at night. So how does he say you're allowed to wear that? The what? The Sanya says, take a look at this puzzle for a second. Let's look at this one. This is Parshas Kaddish, the first parsha in the Tefillin. It talks about Tefillin. All four parshas talk about Tefillin. That's why they're in our Tefillin. Put on Tefillin on your hand and your head. And then it says in Pasuk Yod, you have to keep this chayk, this mitzvah. Miyamim yamima. Should have made it red. Maybe Gary can make it red. Miyamim yamima at the end, the bottom of the pasuk. So yamim, I learned from the word yamim v'loy leilos. You only wear tefillin during the day, not at night. Miyamim v'loy kol yamim, but from the days, not all days. Proud Shabbos is b'yom tovim. So on Shabbos and Yontif, not. So Memela, it's the same word. No nights, no Shabbos. You got it all wrong. This puzzle is talking about that the chiyuv of Karban Pesach is every single year, miyamim yamima, every generation. So how does he know? So Mela, Shabbos and the night are not connected. Wherever Rebbe Kiva gets his, so do we, but only halfway. The Sanya Rebbe Kiva Omer Yochel Yenei Chalim Tefillin Shabbos V'Yom Tovim. Oh, so here's the famous Rebbe Kiva, that you don't wear tefillin on Shabbos because of ice. We'll see in a second. And Memela, during the night, you could wear. I'm not learning from the same word, miyamim, night and Shabbos. I have another source for Shabbos that you're not supposed to wear. So night, Memela, I'm allowed to wear at night. Then what? It says, ice al yadcha. So the art scroll translates its sign. I didn't like that so much, because sign to me is a little weak. I was looking for a stronger word. Even in our Gemara, they translated sign. I thought it's more, I went to ChatGPT, he goes, it's a living testimony maybe. He says, I understand what your problem is. You need a little bit more Kedusha in this, he tells me. Gives me a whole thing. Divine signature. To me, ice is a little bit more. It's not a bris, but it's not a sign. It's like, it's a connection between me and the Rebbeinu Shloilo. Sign is a little weak. You ask him? No, so you have a better word than that?
Emblem.
Oh? Emblem. It's not. It doesn't show me the connection between me and the Rebbeinu Shloilo. So Memela, me. Oh, mishitzrichim ois. A weekday needs a special ois. Yatsu Shabbos v'Yom Tovim shehein gufon ois. They themselves are a sign. There's a mashal. Interesting mashal. Chassan buys his kala a nice ring, and she's all excited about the ring. She's staring at the ring. Then the chassan comes for Shabbos, the first Shabbos, and he's schmoozing with her, and she's going like this. She's looking. So he tells her, "Listen, I got you the ring, so you should think about me. But I'm here. What are you looking at the ring for?" Say, tefillin is a sign, connection between me and the Rebbeinu Shloim. But Shabbos, he's here. Like you don't have to think about him. He's right here. Shabbos is different. Shabbos is the ois. Omer Rabbi Lazar. Also, somebody asked Rav Shach once that he didn't put on tefillin in Erev Shabbos. It was Ben Shmoshes. He passing that he should put on tefillin Ben Shmoshes. Stop. I don't know if we're passing based on Rav Shach. I'm just throwing it out there. Rabbi Yochanan Omar over belav. You're over on the Vishomarta. Here, Vishomarta. It's a lav. Lema, this is easy Gemara. Lema b'Reb Oven. Omer Reb Elah, maybe in the famous Reb Oven we just had in Zvachim, we had it in Avodah Dabar Reb Oven Reb Elah. Kol Mokim Shenema Hishomer Penval. If it says one of these three words, it's when the Torah says, "Do not do this." Hishomer, be careful, don't do this, and you do it. Yoiven Elois Hase. The Mar is later Reb Oven. Mar is later Reb Oven. What's the shaila of Yoiven Hase or Alav? Is it a negative commandment? Vishomarta here it says in the pasuk Vishomarta. It's Hishomer. Loy, the kulam is lo the Rava. Everybody holds the Rava. Or Rava loy. So what's machlokes? Mar savi shomer the lav vishomer da say. Over here, the Torah is commanding you positive. Put on the tefillin. V'shomarta and keep that mitzvah. Don't say do not put on tefillin v'shomarta. If it would say do not do X, Y, Z, and it says v'shomarta, that would be a loisase. But the Torah is saying positive, do this, and then it says v'shomarta. That's only an asay, not a loisase. Mar savi shomer da say nami lav. V'omar Rebbe Lazar v'mleshomra mutar. That if you're putting it on your head in order to make sure they don't get stolen or something, then it's mutar. V'omer Ravina, story, 2 more lines. Have you seen the Kabbalah Rav Ashi was sitting in front of Rav Ashi? V'choshach v'nich tefillin. He put on tefillin after the dark. V'armilei l'shamar kabay lu'ul mar. Is it pshat? Why are you putting them on? You probably want to watch them, that they shouldn't get lost. V'amiliin, he lied to me. He said yes. V'chaziti l'daiti, I saw that he was lying to me. The lav l'shamar u'bay. I was able to tell that he put it on for the mitzvah. Why? Because savar halacha v'ein morim kein. Because he holds that you're allowed to wear tefillin at night, but you're not allowed to tell people about it. It's, I don't know, there's a Shulchan Aruch here. Halacha ve'ein morim kein. I wonder how that fits in with the other Shulchan Aruch. Rabbi Sai, have a wonderful day.
Merit the schus of spreading Torah throughout the world. Sponsor a shir today. MDYsponsor.com or sponsor at MDY.com.